Exodus. Movement of your people.
Honored to be sitting here today with Miss Malea Hill, Mr. Dejuan Wilkes Sharp.
How you doing, man?
I'm loving
Pleasure
it.
to be here.
How you doing, Malea?
I'm hanging in there.
You
I'm
good?
here.
Co-founders of the Downtowners. I've been waiting a long time to talk to both of you. So I'm very appreciative of the time you've given me. For sure.
Thank you.
How about we just start with, can you tell us a little bit how the Downtowners came to be?
Downtowners came to be pretty much we were all independent protesters. I personally came down there by myself because the movement, it means everything to me. So when I found out Columbus was getting it popping, I had to come down here and be ready to go. So, you know, long story short, from the beginning to the end, these people been out here since the start of the protest, or this may not be their first protest or what have you, but they were there and they never left. And they never joined another organization. We just kind of wanted to be free-flowing.
Yeah.
And when Casey Goodson passed away, we had already built our rapport with each other. We had been in the streets. We had been out there for months. We had, you know, bonded with each other in that way. And, you know, just decided that we needed to step up and be that group. We were already kind of, you know, looked at within the activist community as our own group anyway. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we just decided to officially band together and make it what it already appeared to be. It's just a collective of individuals that come out here, and we realize that this is an everyday fight. It's not something that just because the hashtag is there for a couple months, that's your presence and then you go home. It's something that has to be continuously brought to the forefront and continuously presented to the people so that they could be educated and so that they could be aware of how these things are allowed to happen and how it can affect us. So the Downtowners, we pretty much just came out of nowhere, you know. We were all strangers and met each other on the streets and bonded through that. We was cool with that. We own that. We'll be that, you know, because it's not about us. It's not about any individuals or any other groups or anybody's opinions about, you know, any of that. It's about the families. It's about the purpose.
That's definitely right.
I'm just amazed I can find like-minded people. That's pretty hard.
Same.
For real.
I would say right before 2016, 2017, we still had some peace and civility. You know, you can see videos of us out there where we are not throwing water bottles, right, but we're still getting the bicycles put in our ribs. They were stepping horses back on people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I mean, we got video footage of them trying to separate demonstrators because if the cops got you, they just swooped you away real quick. No one knew where you went. So we held on to each other just so they couldn't shake us up. We had snipers on the roof. No riots. There's no riots whatsoever. We didn't burn nothing. We did nothing, but we had hostility coming at us.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I hated about this entire time of Trump is how much hostility. You can't tell nobody apart anymore.
Right.
Because there's just nothing but hostility.
Yeah.
Just because it's Trump time, just because like we can generalize it by saying Trump, but this ain't nothing new.
Exactly.
Nope.
we just had a few years of
It done turned up.
It did, but
It done turned up.
we just had a few years of people being complacent,
just
like
being quiet.
It was just like for black people out of sight, out of mind. White people cool.
Yeah. Yep.
They cool. When I say white people, I don't mean to be racist or exclude anybody. When I say white people, I mean the people that have billions of dollars in their bank accounts and millions of dollars, and they the ones that run it for everybody. Think they know how our community runs, and they ain't never been there. They just hear about it. And then where they heard it from, somebody else heard about it. So they don't really know none of us. They don't know us and how we live and how we get down. And they just see it from afar like, I could never do that.
And you know what? We can really keep it real. It's not just white people, but because we've had white people with us for years.
Yeah,
but nobody can deny that
abolitionism and all that.
The growth of white folks coming out to protest changed phenomenally.
Yeah.
This is not what it used to be.
Right.
It's not what it used to be at all. I mean, the numbers that we had were not as large as George Floyd coming out. It's like everybody who protested anything decided to protest for George Floyd. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately,
and it was COVID.
Those people are not around right now.
Right, at all. They
They're
left
not,
a long time ago.
We haven't seen it. People came out for Casey the first two nights. The first two nights of those protests for Casey were big. And then We watched it dwindle down, and it ended up being you guys being the only people left. Period.
Because we was out there in the streets. We was in the middle of the streets handing out flyers, getting in people's faces in the car. Like, hey man, y'all want to do something? Come on, you can come down here.
Into the bars when they let
out.
out.
Yeah.
See, that's work. That's putting in work. And if you are an activist in Columbus, Ohio, have not put in work, you don't deserve to call yourself an activist. There's many, like Wook said, there's many different positions here.
Absolutely.
So you can put it in any position. Yeah. But you got to put it in. You can't just decide one day, this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
Because other people are doing it. You know, you can't do that. You got to be seasoned to be able to deal with this.
Yeah. You can't do that one day because that one day I was just like everybody else. I just made a decision. I'm like, I'm tired. I don't know if people like remember me from the protest, but I was there almost every day. I was mainly there talking shit. But I do believe that most people do remember me with my flag and me telling people to vote. That was my main purpose down there because I seen it was a fraud and a sham. But these are new people that's new to this. They don't know the letdowns yet. Yeah. They were so hurt when they heard the grand jury of Breonna Taylor. Like, we're used to it. We know.
Oh yeah.
We was more surprised when they arrested. When they arrested Coy, that was more shocking. Like, then it really did something. Even though it's for show, they actually did something.
I think it was just so far gone. There was no way that you could not arrest him. Oh, wait a minute. You couldn't not arrest him just because he murdered Andre Hill 3 weeks after Casey Goodson Jr. was murdered. No video. Okay, well, this time we got video. Right. So you got to do something.
Yeah.
And they knew elected because you know that these people. Have you seen the comment section on anything that happens here in Columbus? It's his fault. It's his fault. He did it. They on his ass.
I just told
everybody on his ass. He think he about to get reelected?
Yeah.
I just told her the other night, man, I gotta stay out the comments. Yeah. And it's not because of the people who are like, no, get him. It's the people who are like, why? What do you mean, why? We don't know what he was threatened with. We don't know if his life was in danger. Yeah, we damn do. Yeah. We most definitely do. Something you said to me was about trying to find more to piss you off. Yeah. And that's what those cops did that night. They couldn't find anything, so they went and found Andre Hill. Yeah. I watched that video so many times. I swear on everything. They were conversating about Andre in that garage before they went to the garage. Mm-hmm. He didn't do nothing. They said some words were being spoken before he went in there. He didn't look like he had just ran.
He should have had a proper body cam and we would have known.
Been operating it properly. Then
you had one that couldn't to get turned off, or one that was already going to the cloud. We would have known what was said before the recording started.
We're about to put another $5 to $9 million in new cameras. I mean, it's about to happen now.
It's gotta happen.
Why didn't it happen before? Because these cameras that they about to get now had the same cameras back then. They tried to save $1.
Yeah, it's a bare minimum.
Well, the thing was, the old ones, and they did mess up. Because what they said was they wanted to give the police the opportunity to do it themselves. Why? And that was the mess up. That was the mess up.
What's the point, then?
Because they didn't want them to begin with. Right. That was the thing. Yeah. So they had to give them a little something extra.
The bare minimum.
That must be something in the contract that they negotiated. Wow, I wish we had a strong mayor that can negotiate a strong contract. I don't care who does it. Me personally, I do not have a problem with the man. Don't know the man to have a problem with him. Right.
I got all kinds of issues.
You got some issues.
I'm not gonna lie.
Politically, that's the person. But politically, once you put your name in that hat, I can say whatever I want to you.
No doubt.
So I feel like he, in the beginning days of the protest, he could have showed the country how to let people use their First Amendment right. But he didn't know how to do that. He didn't know how to get ahead of the protest. He didn't know how to coordinate with the people. He didn't. It must be surprise. It's a surprise to me that Columbus and the mayor don't have no way to talk to like black leadership or anything like that. Like how it should be somebody like, hey man, these people out in my streets. Can you talk to him or something? Can you do something? But they'll do that when somebody gets killed, and they'll go to the people will be like, hey man, can you please tell these people not to do anything? Putting this burden on somebody else when they already put a burden on somebody.
But they can't go to black leadership here because our black leadership has beyond failed us.
I mean,
been failing us for years.
Who is the black
We
leadership?
had
That's another question. Who is? I'm not like, I don't
That's-
know. I'm new
yeah.
to this.
okay.
I'm new to this, my guy.
And you know what? One thing we knew coming up was we had a black mayor and a black police chief. And this got worse. How you have two of the factors that you need in place, and it just got worse.
Because
never got better.
Color don't mean nothing.
Hey, that's a good point.
That's what we
Connected
keep
to the
trying
culture.
Color don't,
That's a good
don't
point.
mean nothing.
I am gonna say that I've heard Michael Jason Meade, the killer cop's neighbors, aren't very happy being neighbors with him. That's what I heard.
They're not.
They're not. And
Point blank.
And how could you expect someone to be? Right. Why now? Like, we have the registration, sex offenders. You know that there's a sex offender on your block. You can just look it up on the computer. If someone's living next to, if we are a mass murderer and people are living next to us, they're going to bring pitchforks and whatnot to our house. What is it that makes someone think I should be in the neighborhood and no one should have to care that I'm here? No one should be bothered. What kind of mentality is that?
The government don't care, so why should somebody else care? They letting him out here. They letting him. I feel some type of way about all this is not really fair. It's like two justice systems, 2 or 3, because so they had a shooting in a predominantly white neighborhood. So what do? They bring in the ATF. They have a $5,000 reward, not for the murderer. Yep. They have a $5,000 reward for the shooter.
Yep.
But when we have shootings in our neighborhoods, don't nothing come like that. Now, you better hope that this overworked system hopefully brings justice to your family. You better hope that, and that's it. But when it happens over there, they having the whole power of the government. That's the ATF. That's the federal government. The whole power of the government coming down for shots fired. So what's the difference?
Yeah. And I also think that, him being able to walk around and live so freely, it goes back to, that speech he made, his mentality. It goes back to him feeling that he's righteous and doing what he's doing. He feels like he's doing God's work. So you don't walk around feeling like you did anything wrong if you feel justified in your actions. And it's just...
How can you have virtue
it's
without
backwards,
without what's that? How can you be a virtuous or gracious or whatever it called itself?
Righteous.
How can you be that righteous? How can you be righteous but you don't admit your faults? Everybody mess up. Everybody's a human. That's the thing that everybody's mad about. I mean, if things happen to transpire and somebody messed up, yeah, you need something has to come from that. You need accountability for that. Everybody is held to account to their words and actions. And if you're a public servant, you should be held to that same standard as everybody else. So that's what people are mad about. You can willy-nilly get away with killing somebody. But if anybody else if you punch somebody, you can go to jail.
Oh, yeah. You can go. I went to jail for threatening to punch somebody.
Yeah, you can say.
You ain't got to punch them.
But you can hunt somebody down. You can You can hunt somebody. You can shoot somebody in the back with a high-powered rifle. That's what they do in war. And he wasn't even a suspect. He wasn't even around there. I'm not.
But how? Okay, so if my neighbor is Jason Meade, and every day I have to look out my door and see this dude chilling out in front of his lawn, you know, picking cutting some grass, planting some damn flowers,
living life, just life, doing life things.
And his house is nice, right?
That's nice.
Think he got a pool in the back?
I'm pretty sure.
Barbecuing.
He got like 3 cars up there. He living nice.
Couple ATVs.
Yeah.
How many cops do you think come to his house and kick it? You know what I'm saying?
All
Just
the
be
time,
full force
man.
all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Just like anybody else. What do you do with your friend that you with your neighbors with? You go kick it. My dude got a nice 80-inch TV. What do? We go watch that 80-inch TV over his house. So what you think they doing? Living life.
Playing pool.
And that's not
whatever.
fair. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Where is that cool? How is that cool? Where is that acceptable at? I guess here, because
I mean, we're Trump country.
Yeah.
We're Trump country. Sure. We were one of the first states to say Trump voted. He's in.
Man, we the United States. No matter where you are. Which ones? Because there's 2 different type of Trump countries.
Break it down.
All right. You got the rich ones, the rich people. That's their type of Trump. And then they got the poor people. Them type of Trump. Them poor Trump supporters, they pretty much like us. They just don't know. It's just like the overseer and the slave. They just think they better than niggas. No matter what. No matter what, they just think they better than somebody. So they can be in the same filth, the same thing. But long as they ain't black, they got a leg up on somebody. Mm-hmm. That was back in slavery time. But then when Dr. King wrote the jail letters, he said the same thing. What's the difference between you and me? We in the same place, the same boat, eat the same food, drink the same nasty water, all of that.
All right, here's the Trump country I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about that thin blue line Trump country. I'm thinking about how many times I've seen neighborhoods that have cops in them, and the neighborhoods are very appreciative of those cops.
They know them cops.
Yeah, they love them. They feel protected. So
They
when
know
you have to live next door to someone that you know is a murderer, should be in jail, should not be outside right now drinking his damn Budweiser, and you have to live with that, you can't even speak to your other neighbors.
Right.
You gotta feel trapped. You gotta feel alone. I couldn't imagine being in that neighborhood. And
I mean, but notice that he lives in that neighborhood, but he works in Columbus.
Oh, that's always the case.
yeah, always.
He don't live there. They just buddies. They don't really care. They just supporting their neighbor. That's all they doing. And it's just foul while we got to be out here in the streets for somebody to get some justice. Me personally, I don't think there should be no reason for his mother to release the autopsy. That's not her job. That's not her role.
It shouldn't have had to be
So
necessary.
if she's doing it, that means somebody's not listening. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is just what I think.
If she's doing it, to me, that means there's not going to be any help at all coming from anyone.
This woman needs help.
No, and you know what? If it wasn't for Sean Walton Jr., I don't know where Adrian would be if it wasn't for Sean. I don't know where we would be. I know that Ben Crump would keep coming into town. I don't want to get into that. My bad. I can't talk about Ben Crump. I'm not allowed to talk about Ben Crump.
Oh, well, we not.
I'm not. I mean, you feel free that you want to, but I think now at this point, when I hear Angela Yee say this still has not got enough attention in the Breakfast Club's national news, and they're saying we're not enough, we got to keep doing it.
Right.
So I'm all about, everybody putting out their word. Everybody putting out their word. If you got to make a little podcast and share it with your friends, as long as people keep talking about it, we're going to keep on pushing.
We can talk about it, but we need to talk about it at the right point. Because we can talk about it and we be talking to a wall, but yet we're still talking.
Right. True.
So we got the point that we got elected officials that's supposed to be helping, and this case didn't happen states away. This case happened right here in our backyard,
our city, our streets.
But that ties into back with with somebody felt upon their own to take their own need to do something for somebody else. It just takes one person to do something. You don't have to be out in here in these streets. You don't have to do what we do. You don't have to do that. Everybody's not cut like that. But what you can do is talk to your job. Like, hey, I know somebody that they need some support. Cut this check. Or you can call you can call somebody. You can support without being there. So I was in the military. So everybody's not a shooter.
Right.
But that shooter has people that support him to make him able to shoot. Mm-hmm. So you got somebody taking care of his finances, somebody taking care of some water, food, emergencies in case something happened. Everything is enable the shooter to shoot. So that's what we need. We need support. We need support from the community because this can easily happen to you. You can easily be in these families' footprints, and you don't want to step in them. I'm telling you right now, you don't want to step in them. I know I don't.
Not at all.
I don't know how the hell I would go.
It's not a club. It's not a club anybody wants to be a part of. And they're involuntary club members. Yeah. They have no choice. This is not why you would want to participate in that club is beyond me because you don't want to get pulled into it. You don't get to get out. There's no go out. There's no.
We gotta make these changes because harshly these people are never coming back.
Right.
And like justice, what is justice? Justice can be whatever you think it is in your mind. But what we need to do is make sure that people are held accountable for this happens again. Believe me, if you come down with the hammer a couple times, just like the theory that they use on us, lock them up. Throw them in jail forever. Throw them in jail forever. Take that same approach to yourselves. How you gonna put that on us, but y'all won't do it for themselves?
What are you guys thinking about the future of the Downtowners? Any plans we can even talk? I don't mean specific plans, but what do you guys want to see? What do you want to do as the Downtowners?
My goal as a downtowner is this. I'm trying to bring back neighborhood politics. That would be my goal. We can have a center, just like how other places is modeled. We can have somebody to call when we need the police checked. Because right now we have no recourse to anything when the police mess up.
Right.
We would need the neighborhood, and that neighborhood can take care of all types of things. That neighborhood committee can take care of lots of things. We used to have this back in the 50s and all that. Yeah. Why don't we have things like that anymore? They always talk about the good old days, back when America was great. So let's make it great.
Well, I know one thing we didn't touch base on. You guys have been feeding folks. You guys have been helping part of the feeding programs.
It's a pandemic.
By way of
I'm disabled.
Food soldier and
Devontae,
farmers to families.
Right.
We find out that they just need people to come get these boxes, and we know exactly which families would probably need those boxes. We reach out, hey, do you need anything? We will come and deliver it to you, or we'll just stop off in the hood, and because we know all this is CPO housing, all of them get a box.
Because most people, they would be scared to come to these houses, to these parts. Because really, the people from the protests, they be doing all these protests. But I've never seen these people in my hood, or any other hood that I be in.
I mean, that's
appreciate. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate that, of course. But these are the people that are most affected by all of this systematic oppression. This is the result of it. This is this area. This is the hood. This is how they set it up. This is
just the police killing us. It's not just the
saying?
police.
So. This is the prime target. We're the targets of the police and all this other systematic supremacy, all that. Like that's the key audience. That's the you know what I mean. These are the guinea pigs. We're the ones in the hood. That's the one that the plan is working on. That's their experiment right there. So and that's the ones that are criminalized when they're killed. Oh, look where they came from. Look how he dressed. Look at this picture from Facebook from 5 years ago when he was 15 and thought it was cute to, throw up a gang sign or something.
Like he dressed like that, but he worked 3 jobs.
Yeah. He's supporting his mom, or
he's taking care of the family. He's doing all that. They don't say none of that.
None of that.
But he tagged his pants, so he smoked marijuana.
So these are the victims of that. This is the hood. These are the people that we are talking about. These are the ones that need the most help. So we gonna tap in with them first. It's where they're overlooked, and then it's overlooked by a lot of people that are black because you don't want to associate yourself with being hood or ghetto or whatever.
Right.
So we gotta pay special attention to them. You can't just give all the attention to the person that's doing well in school, you giving them the awards and all that. What about the kid that's flunking? They need the most attention. You know what I mean? So we gotta take care of our wounded. We gotta take care of the community that's hurt the most, that's oppressed the most. That's the hood. We can't go out here in Worthington and do any damn thing.
They already set up. We trying to set our stuff up like that where it should be because they get taxed just the same as we get taxed.
The hood needs the support. This is who we protesting for. You know what I'm saying? That's where all the black boys and black girls are at. And we trying to get them up out of that, or, have them realize, you know what I'm saying, how many different ways they're being attacked so they can come up out of it. There is a way out. A lot of people have just fallen into despair and just, they embrace it because that's just what they think that they're limited to. You know what I mean? If you got people out there that be, I'm not from the hood. I never lived in the hood. I was blessed enough to where my parents was able to not have me live in the hood, but it was never far away. You know what I'm saying? I come up here, visit my grandma. It's Linden. My mom went to Mcfadden. My dad is from Detroit. You know what I mean? So we live off of 7 Mile. It's the hood. Wherever I went.
Beloved West Side from the hill, man.
Yeah, you from the hill. You know what I'm saying? So there needs to be that connection too. We cannot, disregard them. It's a whole community we talking about. It's a whole community, and there's different subcategories of that. You know what I mean? And
Everybody different.
everybody
they
needs
think
the
black
attention.
people all the same.
Yeah, we can't do
Ain't
that.
nobody all the same.
We're not neglecting them at
Nobody.
all.
How can
We
you
got to
teach
deliver
us-
it straight
yeah.
to the people. We working straight for the people. We for the people to serve the people, and we want to establish policies that actually serve the people and protect people, and to stop families from being ripped apart by police brutality. People take an oath. When you're a police officer, you take an oath to lay your life down on the line, and it seems to me that they forgot that part of the oath. Now is I had to make sure I was okay. I had to make sure I went home. Now, which life are you supposed to lay your life down, or are you supposed to protect your life? And of course, it's natural human reaction to protect yourself, but you took an oath.
And training.
You took an oath. You promised that that's what you were going to do. You were going to lay your life down on the line if need be, and sacrifice seeing your family and being there for them for this job to do what's right. And this is the exact opposite now. They just trying to say they ass.
They morale low. They said they're morale low, so they ain't got
They
to protect
reneging
nobody.
on their own oath.
That means you fail at your job.
Yeah.
You scared to do your job, bro?
You know what? Inside the mind of a cop is a place I never wanted to be, ever. I just didn't want it. I don't care, right? Until I read this book, I've never really felt that I was inside the mind of a
Me
cop.
personally, I got no problem with police.
I do. I got a lot of problems with them. I'm starting to learn how to deal with those.
Yeah.
Because it can stress you out.
My problem is with bad policing, not afforded. That is not. We pay taxes for the police. We pay their salary. We do not deserve this treatment. Nobody else gets this treatment but us.
Now, I'll say something. When I'm calm, I agree with you 100%. But on the other hand, my PTSD doesn't really,
I feel you.
It doesn't really balance, which is a good cop or bad cop. I don't know. I know
Yeah.
I'm about to get hurt because it's been done before.
That's unfair. Like when white people,
you don't.
when,
You're right.
when white people come in contact with the police, they do not fear the police. That's why they be some of them be tripping. I've seen some people do some amazing things to the police. But when we have any type of encounter, just a hello, you could die. And we think about that. That's not fair. Why is that? Why do we got to think about our life? Like, what makes you so scared of us? You would not know. You don't know nothing about me. You know nothing of me to be scared of me.
Right. Your
But-
skin
Yeah,
is enough.
That's
We
not
know it.
that's not cool. So we need to get all them cops that quit over the summertime talking about the morale low. Good, them the cops we talking about. Get the fuck up out of there. There's other cops that will do their job. There's good police that will do their job, and you're getting in the way of these good police. You're hindering their job. There's murders all types around this city. There's people getting beat up, carjacked, and all that. But y'all bad cops is in the way of the good cops doing their job. And the good cops, they should be at our rallies. Flat out. They should be there at our rallies. I'm going to say it right now. The good police should be at our rallies.
They are. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
they're
no,
not doing,
but they watching us. But no, they should be at our rallies doing the same thing. Like, yeah, I'm fed up of this too. They making my job look bad. They making my job hard. Like, bro, we're not attacking the whole police department. We're not attacking the whole culture. We're attacking the culture of bad policing. If people can't see that, it's unfair, and basically, I'm getting ripped off of my money. I need good police. I need police to call if something happened to my family and I'm not there. I should be able to call the police. The police should go there, take care of the situation. I should not have to fear for my family to be dead, and they the ones that called them.
One thing I can say for sure is Lieutenant Mcfadden was with us a couple weeks ago out in Dayton. She was welcomed. She was welcomed with open arms. So
It's a noble profession when you're a kid, and before you know all this, what do you want to be? You want to be a firefighter or you want to be a cop? It's
Firefighter.
a noble, whatever.
Astronaut.
my grandfather's badges are still up. I
All
leave
that.
them hanging.
Everybody wants to be a noble position. Everybody wants to be a noble profession, but it's really, come to find out, it's older. It's not even noble. They don't even have to do CPR. So what does the term going up and above beyond of duty? That's not a high bar in Columbus.
No doubt.
Not at all.
Right.
That's sad. That's messed up for the good cops. That's my only cop thing I'm going to say, because y'all know when I'll be out there, I'll be like, don't even say nothing, because they can't help you when you be out there doing protesters. They are the same people that make your fries or whatever. They are errand boys. They are the lowest rung. They get told what to do. So why would you yell at them? They can't fix nothing. When your sandwich messed up, the manager fixes it, not the employee. Stop yelling at the employees. They can't really do nothing for us. We need to talk to their bosses.
The
That's who we should be
FOP.
yelling at, bro. FOP ain't even their bosses either. The mayor basically is their boss. The mayor puts the police chief in place, so that means the mayor is the boss. And who is the mayor's boss? It's supposed to be us.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, there's, you know what? As far as the mayor goes, he can't even get nothing done with the FOP now. They hate him.
Yeah,
he hates
they-
them.
they
It shouldn't even be like that.
It's a mess.
It shouldn't be like that. Why y'all adversary? Just like the police think that Black Lives Matter is adversary. We're not your adversary. We cannot be your adversary. What we trying to do is get equal rights. We're not adversating
Right.
nobody. We don't care what you do. If you left us alone,
We would be fine.
we would not
please.
mess with you.
No doubt. No doubt. Hey, I'm not going to keep y'all here all night because I know, we just got this together. I made them sit down for exchange of the books.
Nah,
We're
that's
going to sit down
fine.
and record
I'll
now.
take
That's
it.
what we're going to do.
I'll take it.
I appreciate y'all stopping by, though. And we're going to talk
thank you for
real
having us.
soon.
For sure.
Oh, we're going to talk real soon. I love this.
Exit.